so you might as well get typing.
All right. Booker is a mid-20s German man. Hails from I don't think that's the capital of the AGS. Is Frankfurt the capital? I don't think so. But it doesn't matter. Physical description, he is fairly tall. He's 1 meter 80 something. So that puts him at like 6 foot something. He's got sharp features, very European in look. He wears his hair short, cropped, brown, and his most distinguishing feature on his face is his gleaming, very obvious cyber eyes. In terms of appearance, he's fairly well built, a lot of augmented muscle. Doesn't have any obvious cyber limbs or much obvious cyberware besides his eyes. Although, like, if you look at the back of his head, yeah, he's got a data jack. And yeah, he carries himself with a sort of military air.
Great description, but what is he actually bringing to this little criminal gang?
Well, as I hinted with the military air, he is a street Sam. He is a drone Sam, which pretty much all that means is that he carries with him a rigger command console and has some combat drones that provide tactical support in combat.
Good to hear. Booker, same question to you. What does your character look like, and what is their role upon this team?
You mean tactic?
Tactic.
Tactic brings, well, social graces for one. He also brings magical capability. He is a practitioner of Shinto, and from that he is capable of bargaining, negotiating, pleading, begging, whatever basically needs to be done in order to get a deal sorted, whether that's a deal with a Johnson to be able to get paid just that little bit more, or a deal with the spirit in order to blast away whatever's in their path. He currently has extremely short hair, which he's a little self-conscious about, seeing as how, he lost that on his last run.
That sounds like a nice story.
Oh boy. He also broke his leg on his last run, but I'm assuming that either that's healed or that
it's not going to affect you this run. So.
Okay. I was going to send you a message about that saying, yeah, this was a thing that happened. Did you want me to take penalties on physical rolls or something?
We can worry about it later. But while we're just waiting for Bunny to finish typing their answers to the same question. Brilliant.
Oh.
Bunny is an attractive elf girl with a very athletic figure, busty and curvy in all the right places. She wears her mid-back length blood red hair in box braids. Her clothes tend to follow a colour scheme of black as the primary, red, usually the same red as her hair is secondary, and silver or white for highlights. Her bike, and more importantly her custom-look pistols, also follows this colour scheme. Her sleeping tiger is fashioned to look like a tight waistcoat over a mesh skirt, paired with short socks and thigh-length leather stockings, while her trench coat is a form-fitting trench coat, from the hips up at least. She has obvious sidearms. Her two guardians are in concealed quick-draw holsters, her light fire is in the sleeping tiger's holster, and her holdout is in the boot. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we don't allow Sleeping Tiger to be messed with like that unless there's a fashion spell involved, but let's just not worry about it. So, a couple of things, now that introductions are out of the way. So this is a narrative game. That is to say, the mechanics are there to resolve the narrative rather than drive it. So instead of trying to find mechanical solutions to problems, just try narrative solutions to the problems. Try and ask for what you'd like to do rather than worrying about how you're going to do it. There is a gore and squick rule. If anything is disturbing, just call gore and squick and the table moves on. And so with that, we come to a Monday morning. Each of your characters has woken up or possibly not gone to sleep from the night before. And so you get a message from your fixer. It's a simple text post on JPoint. Our organization has a racket that requires delivery of a number of items of a highly illegal nature within a strict time limit. Packages are sensitive and should be handled with care. Destination is well secured, but against distinctly less professional people. Come to Julia's Yum-Cha in Renton for lunch service and order the special spicy tofu if you are interested. Pay is industrial standard and workers should have some experience. So, how do each of you respond to that? Booker, let's go with you.
All right. As in his app, he was just about getting done with buying things for the rest of the week. And what time is the meet?
Lunch service.
Lunch service. Perfect. So I assume around like 1.
Yeah,
Where's lunch
12,
service?
12:30 is more in line with lunch service, but yeah.
Okay. Then this is in Renton. He lives in Tacoma. He's going to take a while to get there. I assume like 30, 40 minutes.
Yes, something similar.
Then he'll leave around 11, be there around 11:30, and find a soy calf near the meat location, and just have himself a small drink before heading in. He'll park his car about like 3-4 blocks. And speaking of car, he will be taking his Nissan Hauler.
Yeah, so you're a human wearing a pretty fashion-forward sort of armored armored suit. So could you just throw me a... What kind of lifestyle do you have, by the way?
I have a middle lifestyle.
Yeah, could you just throw me a threshold 1 check just to see if it blend in?
Is this edge or etiquette?
Etiquette. Etiquette, yes. Now, tactic. Yeah, you live in Puyallup, so things are distinctly a bit harder for you.
Somewhat, yes. With the lack of good streets, any sort of public works at all.
So, are you doing anything before the meet, or are you just rolling up to the meet?
In terms of getting ready for the meet, not particularly, besides getting dressed for actual business and preparing for negotiations. There isn't particularly much that Tactic would do. He's driving a Suzuki Mirage, which would be able to get him to the meet, I would assume, in good time. He's shooting to be there about 10 minutes early so that he can scope out the place beforehand and get a feel for the lay of the land.
Yeah. So can you just roll me a threshold 2 etiquette check to, not attract too much attention, please, Tactic?
Mm-hmm.
Bunny, industrial standard is no specific number. Rather, it indicates that you shouldn't expect significantly high nor low pay for this job. And can you also start describing what you do before the meet and how you are going to get to the meet?
Damn, well done, Tactic.
Good to know, Tactic. So, yes, Booker and Tactic find a place to scope out the meet location. While not actually part of the Renton shopping mall, Julia's Yumcha is quite close by and traffic is heavy. You're left with a unappealing Lebanese fusion place which is neither serving Lebanese food nor has it fused it with anything. You can, however, get a passable imitation of a Turkish soy calf. You can stand a popsicle stick up in it. Sipping on this overpriced, overflavoured, and overly strong imitation coffee, you scope out Julia's yamcha. It seems to be doing a reasonable trade among the Chinese or Asian population in and around Renton. Mostly humans, few elves, few dwarves, generally commercial or office workers going in groups. You don't see anything particularly standing out about the location that you're about to meet in.
All right. Well, if nothing stands out, then around like 5 minutes to 12, or actually no, at like 12:10, Booker would walk in, find a seat, or have himself shown to a seat, and when the order comes, he would order I believe it is the special spicy tofu.
Indeed it is. Bunny, can you quickly make a threshold 2 etiquette check, just to blend in? Booker, as you order the special spicy tofu at the counter, the waitress says, yes, please come with me. I will show you to your table. And has you walked out of the main dining room into a back room, where a Asian-ish man is sitting having lunch wearing a quite nice suit, while two other Asian men, both significantly more heavy-set, stand against the back wall smoking, wearing singlets and jeans.
Now, do these look in any way like Yakuza?
They are definitely not Yakuza. There is none
Okay.
of the tattoos you would expect with a Yakuza group. Bunny,
All right.
you managed to get there on time for 12:30, but this leaves your other two co-workers, sitting there waiting for a bit. The Chinese man in the suit says, well, please, order some food. We are waiting upon a third.
Don't mind if I do. Is there anything you would recommend?
Well, it is a yumcha. Order 3 or 4 things you feel like trying. They are small things. And
He's
so,
going to. Oh, sure.
and so, after some time, you get some food with like some dim sums and some dumplings, and you get liver. I don't know how you do it, but every time you go to a yumcha, you get liver. Bunny turns up to the restaurant, and how does she approach it? No, it's very obviously a lunchtime, cheap, moderate Chinese restaurant. The people moving in and out of this place look relatively normal, mostly humans, some elves, some dwarves. Your suit's significantly more expensive than anybody else's, but it's not amazingly out of place.
Sleeping Tiger's something like 10,000 new yen for the base model, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
No, it's 13,000.
That is like 10,000. Bunny,
Yeah,
as
I know.
yeah, Bunny, as you proceed inside, and you order the special spicy tofu from the woman at the counter, and she takes you to the back room where you find Booker and Tactic already sitting. And there's a meal that's clearly in progress, or possibly even finished by this point. There's a Chinese man with piercing brown eyes and black hair in a nice-ish suit, while two distinctly larger and more heavy-set Chinese men stand against the back wall. They're still smoking, still wearing singlets and jeans. The Chinese man sitting at the table with Tactic and Booker